When you go shopping, do you prefer to pay for things in cash or by card? Why?
I usually prefer paying by card, mainly because it's more convenient and secure. Carrying cash can be a hassle, especially when it comes to handling coins or making larger payments. With a card, I can easily track my spending through my banking app, which helps me manage my budget better. Plus, many shops nowadays only accept digital payments, so using a card just feels more practical and up to date.
Do you ever save money to buy special things? Why? Why not?
Yes, I do. I often set aside a portion of my income or allowance for things that are meaningful or valuable to me, like a new phone, a trip, or even gifts for loved ones. I think saving up not only teaches me discipline, but also makes the purchase feel more rewarding. It's satisfying to know that I worked towards something and didn't just buy it impulsively. Plus, it helps me avoid unnecessary debt.
Would you ever take a job which had low pay? Why? Why not?
Yes, I would consider it, especially if the job offered valuable experience or opportunities for growth. For example, internships or entry level positions often come with low salaries, but they can open doors to better opportunities in the future. I think it's important to look at the long term benefits rather than just the paycheck. That said, I'd probably avoid a low paying job if it had no learning potential or didn't align with my goals.
Would winning a lot of money make a big difference to your life? Why? Why not?
Absolutely. Winning a large sum of money would definitely make a big difference to my life. It would give me financial freedom, allowing me to pursue things I'm passionate about without constantly worrying about expenses. I could invest in my education, travel more, and even help support my family. That said, I also believe that money should be handled wisely. Without good planning, even a fortune can disappear quickly.
Describe an interesting discussion you had as part of your work or studies. You should say what the subject of the discussion was, who you discussed the subject with, what opinions were expressed, and explain why you found the discussion interesting.
One of the most interesting discussions I've had as part of my studies was during an English literature class when we talked about the theme of identity in the novel The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I had this discussion with my classmates and our teacher. Everyone had slightly different interpretations of the main character, Holden Caulfield. Some people thought he was just a rebellious teenager trying to find himself, while others believed he was struggling with depression and isolation. I remember expressing my view that Holden's behavior was a defense mechanism. He pushed people away because he was afraid of getting hurt. My teacher really liked that interpretation and asked the class to build on it, which led to a lively debate about adolescence, mental health, and how literature reflects real life struggles. I found the discussion fascinating because it showed how a single story can be understood in so many ways. It also helped me see how deeply literature can connect to real emotions and experiences. Plus, hearing different perspectives taught me to think more critically and listen more openly.
Why is it good to discuss problems with other people?
Discussing problems with others is incredibly valuable because it often provides new perspectives that you might not have considered. When we're facing a problem, it's easy to get stuck in our own thoughts, but talking it through with someone else can help us see things more clearly. For example, someone might offer a solution or suggest an approach that you hadn't thought of. Moreover, discussing problems with others can provide emotional support. Sometimes just sharing your feelings with someone who listens can help you feel less stressed and more empowered to handle the situation. Additionally, it can strengthen relationships as it shows trust and openness. Overall, discussing problems with others can not only lead to better solutions, but also improve our mental well being and interpersonal connections.
Do you think that it's better to talk to friends and not family about problems?
I believe it depends on the nature of the problem and the relationship with the people involved. In some cases, talking to friends can be beneficial because they might offer a more neutral perspective. Friends are often outside of the situation, so they can provide advice without being emotionally involved. For example, if the problem is related to a family issue or personal conflict with a relative, it might be easier to discuss it with a friend who won't judge or take sides. However, family can also be a great source of support, especially when it comes to deeply personal or long term issues. They know you well and might be more empathetic, offering advice based on your history together. Ultimately, I think it's important to have both friends and family to talk to, as they can complement each other in different ways.
Is it always a good idea to tell lots of people about a problem?
I don't think it's always a good idea to tell lots of people about a problem. While sharing a problem with others can provide support and advice, telling too many people might lead to unnecessary complications. For one, some people might not understand the situation fully, and their advice could be misleading or unhelpful. Additionally, discussing a problem with a large number of people can sometimes create gossip or spread unnecessary negativity. On the other hand, talking to a few trusted individuals can be really beneficial. They can provide you with more focused support, and their advice is likely to be more thoughtful and genuine. So, in my opinion, it's about being selective in who you confide in rather than sharing your problem with everyone.
Which communication skills are most important when taking part in meetings with colleagues?
When participating in meetings with colleagues, several communication skills are crucial. First and foremost, active listening is essential. It's important to really listen to what others are saying, not just wait for your turn to speak. This helps ensure that everyone's ideas are heard and understood, which leads to more productive discussions. Clear and concise speaking is also vital. Being able to express your ideas in a straightforward manner helps avoid misunderstandings and ensures that the meeting stays focused. Additionally, nonverbal communication, such as body language and eye contact, plays a key role in conveying your attentiveness and engagement. Finally, empathy and respect are fundamental in creating a positive atmosphere. Acknowledging different perspectives and responding thoughtfully shows that you value your colleagues' input and fosters a collaborative environment. Overall, a combination of good listening, clear expression, and respectful interaction makes meetings more efficient and harmonious.
What are the possible effects of poor written communication skills at work?
Poor written communication skills at work can have several negative effects. First, it can lead to misunderstandings and confusion. If instructions, emails, or reports are unclear or poorly structured, employees might misinterpret the information, which could result in errors, delays, or even costly mistakes. Secondly, poor written communication can affect professionalism. In a work environment, clear and effective writing is often seen as a reflection of one's competence. If someone frequently makes spelling or grammar mistakes, or if their writing is unclear, it can damage their reputation and make them seem less professional or reliable. Additionally, ineffective communication can lead to decreased productivity. When people are unclear about the expectations or goals due to poorly written instructions or memos, they might spend extra time seeking clarification, which wastes time and reduces efficiency. Lastly, poor written communication can hinder teamwork. In collaborative projects, clear communication is key. If messages are miscommunicated or unclear, it can lead to frustration among colleagues and disrupt team dynamics. Overall, poor written communication skills can create a ripple effect, impacting not only individual performance, but also the functioning of the entire team or organization.
What do you think will be the future impact of technology on communication? The workplace.
I believe technology will continue to significantly transform communication in the workplace in the future. One of the major impacts will be the increase in remote communication. With the advancements in video conferencing tools and collaborative platforms, more companies are embracing remote or hybrid work models. This means that employees will communicate with colleagues and clients across different locations in real time, making it easier to work from anywhere in the world. Additionally, artificial intelligence, AI, and automation will likely play a bigger role in workplace communication. For example, AI-powered chatbots might handle routine inquiries, allowing employees to focus on more complex tasks. Similarly, AI could assist in drafting emails or reports, improving efficiency and reducing human error. However, I think human communication will still be crucial, particularly for building relationships and understanding nuanced emotions. Moreover, virtual and augmented reality, VR and AR, could change how we interact in meetings. Instead of just seeing people on a screen, we might have immersive experiences that make remote collaboration feel more like in-person interactions. Overall, I see technology enhancing communication by making it more efficient, flexible, and accessible. But I also believe that personal connections and emotional intelligence will continue to be essential in the workplace.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us in today's interview. Wishing you good health and the best of luck.
Thank you very much, madam. I also wish good health and the best of luck in life.